Hey guys, it's Sophie with the Facts of Life. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Welcome to my channel where I talk about faith, focus, and fun for mature women and also for younger people who just want to come over and grab some attention. Uh, Not attention, but grab some information and some of my wisdom that I'm willing to share. Today, I want to talk about expectation and the expectations that you can sometimes put on another person in a relationship and how it doesn't always pan out the way you think it will. First of all, when you think that somebody else is coming in to save you from your money mistakes, your money mishaps, your lack of responsibility for yourself, that's not going to happen. In the movies, people are saved, like in one of my favorite movies ever, Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts. Oh man, what's the male actor? I can't remember his name right now. I'm going drawing a blank. But Robert Geary, I might say the name, Gere. But he's so handsome. Yeah. But in that movie, he comes, he saves her from herself, and she becomes a well, not a perfect woman, but perfect for him. But in reality, it doesn't happen. Alice in Wonder, the fairy tales don't happen. Alice in Wonderland, all of those Disney fairy tales, those great books that we read when we were children, they're not real life stories. And we have to understand that too. At a certain point, we have to get to the realization that, they were just fairy tales. Great reading stories, great books. I love my books. I love my physical books. Great stories to pass on, but in reality they were not real life. And I think sometimes we have to learn to, even the Hallmark movies, everybody's in love, everybody falls in love, and and we just have to understand that that's not reality. Reality is, you meet someone, you get to know them, but you cannot make that person make you a better person. You have to be willing to do the work for yourself. You have to be willing to love on yourself enough to say, you know what, maybe at this point in my life, I don't need a relationship. Maybe at this point, I need to focus more on, selfishly, on healing myself. More focus on what brings me comfort and peace outside of a relationship. And then when you draw somebody in, you're not putting all these high expectations on them. Even men do it too. She's going to be fit. She's going to lose 100 pounds. She's going to lose 30 pounds because I want her to be a certain size. Then sometimes you have to step back, because when you start to put all these expectations on another person, it makes them sometimes feel resentful. I know for me, whenever somebody tried to make me into something different, it always made me resentful of the relationship. And I end up just trying to stay in it, trying to change them, trying to force them to change, trying to see that they can be better. And I went on potential. The only person you can really go on potential with are your children or yourself, because those things are, you can possibly change some of them and maybe not. Sometimes your children are just going to be your children, and hopefully you'll nourish where they are in life and teach them that, whatever you want to do in life, I'm going to be supportive as your parent, instead of trying to force them to be something that you want them to be, right? Because parents that do that, the children will do things to satisfy their parents, but at the same time, there's some kind of little root of resentment in the background. So you want to make sure you're allowing your children to be free to be and express themselves. But getting back to what I was saying about the expectation, when you go into relationships with these expectations of what somebody else should be doing for you, paying your rent, buying your children food and this and that, ladies and gentlemen, we have to be more mindful that sometimes people don't want to do that. Have you ever noticed when somebody wants to do something for you, you don't have to beg them to do it, you don't have to plead with them to do it, you don't have to keep saying the same thing over and over, they will actually do it. And it's okay if they don't want to. It's okay. We felt, because when we live by this scarcity mindset that it's only one person right now for me, then we're willing to hold on to those little breadcrumbs, I call it. And I did a video about breadcrumbing. Don't allow somebody to breadcrumb you, just feeding you the bare minimum, just to keep you around, just to have access to you. because we all deserve better than that. And sometimes it's just releasing those breadcrumbs. Throw them out to the birds. The birds will come and get them. So you've done something with the breadcrumbs. You've given them away to somebody else that can have them. And then you're giving something away that you don't need to get something that you do want in your life. And sometimes we just have to release things that we don't want in our lives to get the things we do want. And, when we try to make somebody else into something that they're not, making them do things for us, or we have this expectation or sense of entitlement that somebody's supposed to do something for us because they're in our lives. And because you want them to save you from your messes. That's not fair to the other person. It's not fair to put on that other person that, anytime you feel upset and hurt, you calling them, you're loading off on them like they're your counselor. It's sometimes you can talk to people, but don't put all your burdens on other people, because they may not even be dealing with things that heavy, or they may not want to deal with things that heavy. So you have to meet people where they are in life, and it's so important to do that. But expecting somebody to do more for you than you're willing to do for yourself is, no, that's not the way it should be. So when you want somebody else to pay your rent first. Start paying your own rent. And I think it's such a disgrace when women go out on a date and then tell the man that, I'm taking this food home for my child. Now, if you have food left over, the man may not mind. He may say, you know what, look, we got all this pizza left over. Take it home to your children. Or he offers you, he said, take dessert home, get an extra entree to take home. If he offers, that's one thing. But don't go somewhere expecting somebody to give to you. I mean, are you doing these things for yourself, or you just expect somebody else to do them for you? I used to be like that. I used to expect somebody else to do more for me than I was doing for myself. And then I came to the realization that, you know what, Sophie, it's time for you to start doing a lot more for yourself and stop putting this expectation on somebody else to do something for you. Because when a person cares, they want to share their joy, they want to share your life with you. You don't have to beg them to do anything. They'll do it. It'll just be automatic. No pressure, no sales tactics. They'll just do it for you. So just make sure that, when you're taking care of, when you have somebody else in your life, don't put all your expectations off on them. Sure, have your high goals, your whole dream set, whatever. And don't share everything, all your goals and dreams, because sometimes people are not where you are with that. Sometimes people don't understand that part of your life. So I'll do a separate video on not sharing all your goals and dreams and your passions and in relationship. And I'll tell you why. Because sometimes people don't understand that. They think you're trying to be above and beyond them, trying to leave them behind. It just creates some chaos sometimes. But do for yourself as much as you would want somebody else to do for you in life, and see how far that takes you. See what path that'll put you on, besides using the scarcity mindset and saying, well, somebody has to do for me because I'm not doing enough for myself, or they owe me because they're spending time with me, or because social media will tell you all kinds of foolishness out here now, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to know how to decipher it, the truth, the facts from the fiction. And that's why I started The Facts of Life. So again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for coming over and supporting my channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Are people just seeking too much from somebody else, or putting too much pressure on somebody to perfect their life when they haven't even done the work to perfect their own life? Let me know what you think. Okay, until the next video, guys. See you soon.